Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Van Orn and this is another Dragonheir Silence God video. So guys, I'm back here with everything started. When in season 1 we started from this point, this map with our adventure. And this is not a season 1 account. This is not a season 1 revamp. I just want to start from here to talk about my thought of what is the health of the game right now. And tie that to the reason why you haven't seen a lot of content from me. And if you saw the video and you click on the thumbnail, probably already know the general gist of what I'm thinking. But nevertheless, I want to deep dive a little bit in what are my thoughts and break down in points of discussions and talks about why you haven't seen content from me in the last few weeks as often as used to be, and why I'm pretty silent and sitting on the side at the moment, waiting for the game to sort out itself and take some decision, evaluating my options. So let's start from the big discussion point, which is the end game. I haven't been able to do anything on season 3 end game because we have a test server and a boss for the end game is available over there, and the boss though doesn't work as intended. It's not working with the mechanic that we were expecting. The boss is basically almost unbeatable for most comps because at the moment he stacks up 50% damage reduction every time you do a physical attack on him, and therefore basically you hit it twice and you do no damage whatsoever until the buff wear off because it's also undispellable. We had the discussion with the developer, obviously, in content creator chat, and the conclusion of that discussion has been that the boss at the moment, it's not as intended and it will be revised, but on how and when, we have no answer. We know that for the live game it will be revised, and so in 3 days when my other world exploration will end, in 3 days and 12 hours, so 4 days let's say from today, I will have access to the actual endgame boss, but it will be a surprise because we don't know if there is just a difference in the buff, and so instead of being 50% reduction will be 10%, 5%, 50%. It will be something completely different. Maybe it will be an increased defense. We don't know that. We have no details about it. We asked for it in content creator chat and we have no answer. Only that the live game will have the new revised version of the game. We asked to be able to test the boss before going live to see if it works as intended or if there are more difficult things to tackle with, and maybe come up with some composition that can do a decent job, free to play composition and everything, because obviously we want to compete on the end game. We need to do 200 million. We want to go hard on damage. We're not going to have much time to test free to play composition that are doing enough damage to get you somewhere, because we are also a competitive player at the same time. So all this work would have been nice to be done on the test server, and the answer has been that they don't know. We don't have the update on the test server yet. We can't try it. And so there's no point for me to jump on the test server and do any work whatsoever over there. And so if I can't give you a good guide, if I can't give you a relatable guide, maybe the boss will be different. I'm just wasting my time, and I don't want to do that because I have a full-time job. I have other things to do in my life. This, as much as I like it, is just a part-time venture that I'm doing on the side to try to do something and maybe in the future become more independent as job goes. But at the moment, with no content, why should I invest my time? And so there is no content for me over there. And as something similar or a different discussion point to the fact that I haven't opened a season 1 account. I haven't done so because for what I've seen and for what I have seen other people playing so far, well, there is no content. There is no new content in season 1. You can open an amazing new account and get plenty of new dice when you can pull new champion and shiny legendary champions and maybe get some dupe much easier. You're gonna have your free-to-play legendary champion, which is not amazing, but he's gonna have a legendary artifact and it's gonna make your season 1 experience much more enjoyable. Well, true, is all true. But we already done season one. We already done all those content. I've done personally season one and season two without legendaries artifact whatsoever. I've been trying to rank. I've been trying to give as much free to play content as possible, showing composition with epics, doing everything from the dungeons to the domain to the end game, the best composition available for everything all the time for season one and season two. So why should I replay the same content? And then he got me thinking for why the season one update happened in the first place, especially when it happened. And for me, that's the key to analyze season one change. It happens in a very peculiar time of transition. We know that the company is changing ownership and it's going probably from what is right now through the new buyer. Well, we kind of know who it is, probably going to be Tencent, but we don't have confirmation yet of when and if they are actually buying the game through themselves or through a subsidiary or something different is going to happen. But nevertheless, it's a very important time and they need to show obviously their investors or future investors potential. And one of those key points that you're going to want to see is new player acquisition. And I don't think that Dragonheir has been doing greatly past season one, which is the bulk of the player now move all the way to season three. I don't think that the number is still there as they used to be when we started in season one. And so what do you do to put a patch to that? Well, you make season one more enticing. You give a lot of free stuff. You make a lot of people, new people coming in with advertising and a promise of a lot of new shiny legendary champions. And then you bring back a lot of champions, a lot of players that are not happy that they are in season three. They kind of feels a bit dull and left out. The game is a bit what it is at the moment. It's very easy to do 15 comps and very boring to the moment. So let's jump back to season one and see if I get more luck. But at the same time, there is still no new content. So what are you doing? You're not going to replace season one and season two. You already done that. So all those players that goes back will probably drop their account. All those content creators that you've seen that are creating accounts in season one, they're getting a lot of views because everybody wants the dopamines. And so let's pull some dice, 80 dice. Look, my shiny legendary. But do you think they're going to play those accounts for long? I doubt. To be honest, I doubt. And I will be surprised if any of them will play those accounts all the way to the end game of season one. And after season one, they're probably not going to play season two because season two is boring and we already done it. And they're not going to replay that. So what are we doing? And then nevertheless, we have this system, which is the basic dynamic of the game, which is the seasonal separation will stay in place. And all the players, all the new players that are brought in by this new wave of interest are feeding and getting in this new bubbles. There are the different servers that every day get generated and they kind of exist on their own universe and they live and die separate without mixing with the existing game. And so we're creating a lot of little bubbles around that never mix. And so the player base is always split. The game is always separate. The seasonal are separate. It's always different. We are creating a system where we are now moving to season 4 and we're going to have to ask every player, well, what season you're playing. Are you playing season 1? But this is the new version of season 1. So let me just think about it. Oh, you have 12 levels of dungeon. Well, I have 9 of them. But they are same difficulty. It's just split differently. Oh, the gear is different. You have different gear. Yeah, right. You have also some special gear that I don't have. Oh, the gear icon are different. So yeah, by the way, this set in your season look like that, and it's just a mind puzzle of different situation, and it's just difficult to navigate. From a player perspective, it might be easier because you just play your season, you have your account. From a content creator perspective, it's just so difficult that makes it even almost impossible. I'm playing season 4. I'm playing season 3. Sorry, I'm not even know what season I'm playing anymore. But I'm playing season 3. I've done all my comp for the Otherworld exploration almost 2 weeks in advance to the Otherworld opening. The boss were the same. I know what to expect. I didn't have anything else to do in the game, so I started building them up and testing them on the Otherworld, on the Chaos boss. And I was actually expecting the accuracy to be higher, but not even the accuracy difference in other world exploration. And so all my teams made of 3 or 4 champion build up with level 1 to fill up spots and get the 5 affinity, or to get an aura just bringing them up to level 30. All of them works. And if we jump over here and I show you what I've been doing so far, you're gonna see that the bosses are the same, right? On the Chaos Shadow, it translate to other words with the same stats and everything. So it's just a repetition. You just do 15 teams instead of 6. And then you go here and you're gonna see that my teams are exactly the same than one I showed in the video weeks and weeks ago. So no surprises over there. Have a bunch of level 1, some champion that needed to be only level 30. I brought up to 90 because I have the resources, and maybe I can put some scrolls in them and I can start preparing for next season. Well, those champions might be helpful, or I'm preparing for the end game, saving up resources, leveling as much champion as possible. Look at this comp, 199 for level 90, doing 25 million in probably 2 minutes. None of these comps have left go all the way to the maximum score, because if I let them go, the minimum score I get from the worst comp, which I believe is this one that we were talking about, this comp over here is doing almost 45 millions. My best comps pass 100 millions, and is this one, for example. Because it's more balanced, has healing, has good champions, a good strategy. The rest of the comps are broke down just to get to 22 millions. But this comp over here reached 22 million in 45 seconds. It's not challenging, it's not fun, it's repetitive, every day doing this 15 bosses. And it's not really rewarding because the leaderboard is not moving. Everybody's doing 15 teams. I'm only hoping that someone maybe forget to do the bosses one day, or maybe someone get bored and doesn't do it every day, and so I can move up some position. But the leaderboard is not going to move because everybody's running 15 teams. Everybody's getting the same amount of points. We get some resources which are partially influential. Like if there was none of the eco of Clixadra, this points will be the same because the leaderboard is not moving. I've already finished my Psychic core, so the affinity solvents become completely irrelevant. And I don't understand how 3 seasons in they can't calculate how many solvents do you need to max out your Psychic core and then convert that slots to something different. Now every day I'm gonna keep getting this solvent when my Psychic core is completed. So you either expand the Psychic core or you give me less, because anything I'm getting now is just getting waste and I don't use it. I don't bring it to next season. It doesn't do anything for me. So that slots is a complete waste. But this is just one of the things, you know, the leaderboard, the scoring point, everything has been the same from season 1. It had never put any energy whatsoever, any thought process in trying to improve it, try to make it different. The only difference we saw this season is that the bosses are not just a champion that is available to us, it's a reskin, but they have the similar skill to a boss or a champion, so it's just a skin applied to something that was already in the game. So that's not much from their side to make this more enticing and fun to play, to be honest. And so why should I do a season 1 account and play again season 1, having it even easier, because I'm gonna have legendary, a lot of summons, maybe some legendary artifact, so it's gonna be easier than what I've done already. For the same content that are already covered in season 1, you can go back and watch all the videos already done in season 1, knowing that is a marketing move most likely to bring players in, have that KPI to show to the new buyer, oh, we're getting a lot of new players in. While the system is still faulty, we don't have insurance of what the game is going to do long term, if the player base is ever going to mix, and we're finally going to have one season to play all together without all of this separation, when we're finally going to have a player base that play together and do something to keep the game alive and make it fun. I don't see that coming at the moment, and so I am also demotivated in making videos, because I'm making videos on what? On what should I do it? Bosses I've already done, champion I've already played. There's nothing more to show. There's nothing more to show. And there is no insurance that the player base is growing. The video I should make are for season 1 right now, because there's only people that want to watch videos is playing season 1, and so I'm just wasting my time. So I don't want to do that. This is not my full-time job. I don't need to put out a video every day just to tick box and say, oh, look, I've done a video every day for the last 30 days. I know that doesn't mean that I'm a good content creator. If I wanted to just invest my career in the content creation, I should probably do that. I've tried to play other games. I can't find a game that I like at the moment that I want to cover. And so I'm not covering anything. I'm going to do videos on Dragonheir. When I have time and something to say, I'm going to cover the end game boss. I'm going to cover season 4 when it's going to come, hoping that the game is going to improve. And meanwhile, I will keep looking around for something else to do and some other games to play. And if something comes along that really get my attention, you're going to start seeing guides for different games. I hope you guys stick around with me, and I hope you're gonna watch my content if it comes out for other games. And on that note, actually, I will appreciate any of your suggestions. If there's anything out there that you guys would like me to see covering, please leave a message down below. I will be happy to try out and see if there is something for me in there. For now, guys, this is everything, and I hope to see you soon with another video. Bye!